This is Standing Watch. And now, Evangelist Norbert Link.
Greetings everyone, and welcome back to our Standing Watch program. 2018 ended with a bang, and 2019 will be even much more grim, much more devastating. I'm talking about today President Trump's unilateral decision to withdraw his troops from Syria and the reaction to that decision. President Trump, as you will recall, announced it on Twitter before he even consulted with or notified anybody, his allies, his own staff. And of course, in withdrawing the troops from Syria, he's leaving the country to the mercy of ruthless dictators in Russia, in Turkey, in Syria, and of course in Iran. And of course, he also talked about withdrawing troops from Afghanistan, maybe half of them. And so this resulted in the resignation of Defense Secretary General James Mattis, who has been referred to as the only adult left in the room. And it has placed the world, and especially a worried Europe, on notice that the USA is a completely unreliable partner, as they put it, and President Trump's unpredictable and chaotic decisions compel, these are all quotes, the EU to create a unified army as soon as possible. This, my friends, is something which we have been telling you for years, if not for decades. What we are seeing right now is in direct fulfillment of biblical prophecy. Bloomberg wrote on December 21, "The abrupt resignation of US Defense Secretary Jim Mattis has governments from Seoul to Brussels on edge as the reliability of American alliances and the direction of policy under an erratic leader come under question." Notice how Germany's Der Stern, a very popular mass magazine, wrote and commented on December 23. "Donald Trump betrays his friends, accommodates his enemies such as Russia, and does not care about the chaos which he creates. His fans will celebrate him for that." And Deutsche Welle added the following on December 21. "While the resignation of James Mattis was widely lamented in Washington, hopes for some kind of internal resistance against Donald Trump are misplaced. Any kind of musings about this president resigning are wishful thinking. Trump is the commander-in-chief, and people will salute." The Trump administration and the world have been fortunate until now that this president has not yet had to deal with the kind of national security crisis that the US president usually has to face in his tenure. But eventually such a crisis is likely to come, they say. And I say it is going to come. It's not only likely, it is clearly predetermined. The EU Observer wrote on December 21, "America's Western allies have voiced dismay," now that's an understatement of the year, "at US leader Donald Trump's sudden idea to pull out of Syria. France and Germany spoke out against Trump's move on Thursday, December 20. The risk of an ISIS resurgence is especially frightening for France and Germany, the main targets of its overseas attacks. But the US pullout from a part of Syria under Kurdish control also posed other threats for Europe. Turkey reacted to Trump's news by saying that it would attack Kurdish forces in the region. A Turkish assault could create thousands upon thousands of new refugees. The US pullout could embolden the Syrian regime and its main allies, Iran and Russia, to attack the last rebel stronghold in Syria, prompting an even larger exodus to Europe. And that poses a big problem for Europe. They are still trying to deal with a migrant crisis. Now, if there are more migrants coming in again, guess who is going to be blamed? Well, of course, Donald Trump is going to be blamed for that. Politico wrote on December 21, European allies' biggest fear is here to stay. In the case of a real crisis, Trump may well fail to defend them. And so here comes the reaction. It's a logical reaction. It's a cataclysm which is ongoing. The EU Observer wrote on December 20, the decision by President Donald Trump to withdraw US forces from Syria presents an opportunity for France and Germany to consider military options. It is time for President Emmanuel Macron and Chancellor Angela Merkel to walk the talk on the idea of a European army by sending their troops, got that, to Rojava, filling the security gap the United States is leaving behind. Europe will use a unified army to invade the Middle East. That's prophesied. That shouldn't come as a surprise to us that we are talking about these things now, if you have been listening to us for the last many years. But now it's coming to fulfillment. We have been telling you these things all along. Al Jazeera wrote on December 21, the chairman of the Munich Security Conference, Wolfgang Ischinger, believes that the creation of a European army is inevitable. It is necessary, he said, in the light of threats from Russia and the failure of reliability from the United States. Again, Deutsche Welle wrote on December 27, Germany's Foreign Minister Heiko Maas stressed again that the UN's highest decision-making body, the Security Council, needs to be reformed, insisting that Germany should hold a permanent seat. Well, they are going to have a temporary seat beginning January 1, but they want to have a permanent seat. Maas stressed that Germany's global responsibility is growing and that his country is prepared to take a greater role in tackling global conflicts. We won't be able to shun big decisions anymore, he said, especially regarding, notice, conflicts in the Middle East, including those in Syria and Yemen. So Germany will get involved more and more in international conflicts, especially in the Middle East, and they will do so militarily in combination with a European army. The call for a powerful European army is getting louder, thanks to President Trump and Vladimir Putin. Let's talk about Russia a moment. The Sun wrote on December 21, the Russian bear is back as strongman Putin rearms his country's military and expands his power base across the globe. Once he dubbed the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991 as a geopolitical disaster. And during Vladimir Putin's 18 years in power, he has been on a mission to revive Russia's empire. And yesterday, he even threatened a catastrophic World War III, and I might add a nuclear World War III, if any nation defies him. Here's a headline by an article by the EU Observer dated December 27. Putin tests new missile to frighten Europe. And so then they continue to write, Russia has tested a hypersonic missile capable of a nuclear strike anywhere in Europe, in what Russian President Vladimir Putin called a great New Year's present for the country. The avant-garde system, to be deployed in 2019, travels at 20 times the speed of sound and has a range of 6,000 kilometers. And of course Europe is concerned about these developments, and the only alternative they see is to become strong militarily, so that they can, quote-unquote, defend if there is a need to do so. Maybe strike preemptively, as the Bible strongly indicates is going to happen. Because we see Russia, together with China and India and Japan and other Far Eastern countries, in all likelihood Korea included, will form a strong military power. And so, since the US is walking away from any responsibility when it comes to military action, Europe thinks that they have to do something. And so, mark my words, they are going to build a very powerful European army pretty soon, which again will lead to the fulfillment of biblical prophecy. If you want to know more about what the Bible tells us is going to happen in these end times, here's a free booklet. Is that in the Bible? The Mysteries of the Books of Revelation. Is that in the Bible? The Mysteries of the Book of Revelation. Now, we have just reprinted this booklet. It's brand new from the press, fresh from the press. And so, please ask for a free copy and we'll be happy to send it to you. Until next time, this is Norbert Link for the Standing Watch program.
Standing Watch is a presentation by The Church of the Eternal God, P.O. Box 270519, San Diego, California 92198. More information is also available at our website, eternalgod.org.